Hey everybody, it's Kathy P. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to cover some of the misinformation being put out there by LB, Molly, Justice for All, Goose, Miss Letitia, and Mr. Jackson. They've all co-signed to all this craziness, all this misinformation. And also to show how these tragedy pimps do these stories. Because they put all this misinformation out about Dre and Vaughn. They created this whole narrative, this whole story, because there wasn't one. Unfortunately, it was about a young man who tried to unalive himself. They've tried to make it in Dre this big criminal, tried to make this into spun this story so far left, and then harassed and destroyed Dre. And I want to show you how Molly and Justin, harass and dox and attack victims. They go after victims. Justin and LB and Goose and all that, they co-sign. They go on panel with her. They go along with this. It's crazy. And in this video, this is how Molly started doing exactly what she's doing to this day. Only she's amped it up. But she started by attacking a victim. But let's get into it.
Who doesn't claim to be a fan, but clearly is a fan. I did a brave thing by writing in a very detailed blog the night in which I was assaulted, sexually assaulted. These women did everything they could to, I guess, try to prove that I am a liar. I'm not a liar. This one particular YouTube, her entire demeanor to me is incredibly catty, soulless, delusional.
Wow, that's a pretty good description, and we know who it is, don't we, Molly? This is crazy. This is what I'm talking about. She didn't know this woman. She was a crazed Nick Carter fan. She attacked this woman, destroyed this woman, had other people do it with her. Wow. But this is Molly's history. This is what started it, and this is what we'll continue. Watch.
You know who you are. You've tried to contact me and my family numerous times, which we have refused to engage with you. She has grown her channel based off of disseminating lies and false information.
And to this day, it's still going on. She still gives false information. Puts out, spews out there really bad trash, honestly, for the views and clicks, because with Molly it's all about the views and clicks. And like she recently stated, her views are down when she does content without all the drama. She gets the views when she has all the drama. She causes all this. She causes all the misinformation on purpose. Every story she touches turns into a circus, and you'll see that as we go through this.
I've had a few people reach out to me asking me to answer some of the additional details that this YouTuber has put out into the cyber world of what happened the night that I was assaulted. The detailed account that this YouTuber has put out is so erroneous and so false that I don't even know how to address some of the...
Exactly. She outright lied. She took this girl's words and twisted them and outright lied about facts she knows nothing about. She wasn't there. Because she's a crazed fan, this is how she started. I'm just wondering if she wasn't getting slid a little something under the table, because she really went hard.
Questions, because a lot of the details that she asserted herself are never happened.
And that's how Molly does it to this day. She inserts herself into these stories or makes stories up to fit her narrative, and she tells a lot of misinformation. But we're going to continue, because what you're going to see next is just beyond.
I'm not doing this to hurt you. I don't want your money. If it wasn't for your freaky deaky wife, Melissa Schumann, I wouldn't have my channel.
And there you have it, out of the horse's mouth. I wouldn't have my channel. Not only was she an obsessed, crazed fan, but I do believe that once this started, there were some other things that changed hands, because she went so hard for her. She incited these hate groups. They attacked and destroyed this woman and her family.
A really great group of girls. You wouldn't think.
And here's the girls I'm telling you about. She incited to harass and attack this young lady. I mean, they went balls to the walls.
Would give a shit about Nick Carter. But you know what? You've got some pretty big demons that are coming your way that you're going to have to face. Nick.
Her big demons are you and your minions. What you did was disgusting. Was disgusting. But you know, Down the Rabbit Hole News did a really good video on this, and she has it all, and you can go there and check her out, because it's good, and it gives you all the details. Savage Live Media has some videos. There's several creators out there that have done videos about this that, you know, have more detail. I'm using it to show Molly's behavior.
Carter is not going to allow it to go on forever. I'm not going to allow it to go on forever.
Who are you to tell her that she can't do anything forever? She can do what she wants to do. It's her life. It's her story to tell, not yours. It's not your business. Was you hired by the Carter's PR team? Just asking. Just my opinion.
You could have gone away easily. And I think that a part of you is in love with me. Melissa, you...
Look, she didn't have to go away. She did nothing wrong. Nothing. And I doubt if there's a hair on her body that has any kind of love for you. And you know, I don't blame the girl. I get it. I get it.
Dude, I don't know what the hell you want. You're a lousy leg.
You are disgusting, Molly. To sit there and make a comment like that and say stuff like that and then laugh. You're a mother. You're a woman. Wow. Just, that is just totally disgusting.
You get a chance with Nick Carter, you fucking go hard. And you know what? The Bible ain't gonna help your
We're not
ass.
all like you, Molly.
Where are your friends at? Where's Kaya? I love his side two girls. Really.
What you did to this young lady, shame on you, Molly. Shame on you. But sad to say, this was just the start of many victims of yours. Any story you put your hands on, you destroyed and made a circus. And fed a lot of misinformation. But next we're going to go to Shanann Watts. I'm sure everybody's familiar with Chris Watts' story. You know, he murmured his wife and children, and his wife was pregnant with a little boy. But in this video, Molly mocks her. And you know, Molly's actually even said it out of her own mouth, blaming Shanann for what happened. This woman is truly, truly something.
A very impressive. I was just talking to an attorney today in California.
Drive. It just came in the mail. Chris is gonna be so excited. Got my new patches. Look, we got a zebra. It goes right here. You know what? I'm just gonna put it on my titty, cause you can put it anywhere. See this? We got chocolate thrive, Lavelle, chocolate lifestyle mix. So what do we got here? It says ultra micronized nutrient minerals, probiotics, everything you need is in here, guys. Got all my patches. You know what? I'm feeling super good today. Then I'm gonna put 2 patches on. I'm gonna let the zebra match the leopard.
You're disgusting. Number one, Shanann's videos were for the business she was in. She was selling a product. Products that some people do say work. But Her videos were so much better than yours. She had class you'll never have.
And see how that goes. Yeah, I'm gonna be up all day. I can take care of my kids, do the laundry, do the dishes, vacuum the
You
house,
wouldn't have to do none of
mop,
that.
go to the car cleaner, pick up the wash, blah, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
what
All
she does
that
next
before
is
10
just beyond.
a.m.
It's just too much.
Check out Thrive. It's better than crack. Hi,
It's
guys.
coming.
Get your Thrive.
Here she goes. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You just did that? Wow, Molly. You're really messed up in the head. That woman was murmured by her husband. Her children were murmured by their dad, her husband. Wow. This is what Molly does to victims. And it got worse because she went after Shanann's family as well. She went after everybody. She's just beyond.
Okay. God rest her soul. Oh no, Chris is around. I gotta go. God rest her soul. But those videos, ay tantito, those videos, ay cabrón, ay no, loca.
Wow. Her videos were better than yours. She didn't have to put out trash to sell her products. She put out true facts. Like I said, she didn't have to do trash videos like yours.
No, I'm not going to take them off. You want to know why? Because they don't even work.
Yeah, okay.
They don't work.
Okay, next we're going to go into her next victim, the Summer Wells case. She goes to Don Wells, Summer Wells' father's job site. And the way she behaves and carries on is just beyond. I can't say that I'm surprised by anything she does, but she's hit some lows of low here.
They don't work.
This is
No,
Molly
you don't.
going up to the
I don't
job
think
site.
so. Let's go. Let's go.
Listen to her.
Let's go. We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
What's the secret location? It's this job site you tracked a poor man down at. Trying to get him fired. You're trespassing. You're on private property. You're not out in the street. You're harassing.
Here we are.
You wanted to meet us, Don. Where's Summer?
This is your chance. You want to be friends?
No, I don't think he wants to be your friend.
She's not kissing now. Saw him. Yeah?
Look at her. She's looking in the windows, trying the doors, the windows. She's trespassing. People like her is why protesting
This
getting
one.
stopped in a lot of areas.
Get out here.
Listen to her. Boy, sometimes one day she's gonna say that to the wrong person, and they're gonna oblige Miss Molly.
No. 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 He is no. Yeah, call the law. Bring him. Bring it. Let's go.
Oh yeah, bring the law, because they're gonna lie and say they weren't trespassing, and yes, Molly was. Molly was up on that porch. She was trying the windows, the doors. Yes, she was trespassing, but she'll lie and say she wasn't.
Allowed to be in the public street.
You weren't in the public street. You were on the property. You were on the porch. You were trying the door, the windows. You were looking in the windows. We just seen that. But then we know how you are, Molly. We know how you don't like to give the right information.
We have rights. We have
Everybody's
rights.
got rights, but you don't
Yeah,
do
well,
no
guess
job.
what?
Go.
We're not leaving until he comes out.
Go.
No, we're not leaving until he
Oh, you can bet they won't because she has nothing else outside of YouTube.
comes out. Then tell him to come out. No. No.
I'm sorry. Y'all need to
This is my business. I'm looking for her. Well, go get out of here. Get her in my fucking face. Come out here. Kids is not in there. It's Don. Don, get your ass out here because we're not leaving.
Listen to that mouth.
I know you have that First Amendment right, but you
We
can't
do.
consider
Tell him. Tell
You violated your First Amendment right. You went on the property. You were up on the porch.
him to come out. And tell him to come out.
Oh,
And
he got
what? He buried his baby somewhere. We want to know where she's at.
then we'll leave you.
Where's the baby?
Come on, Don.
Wow, do you hear the stuff they're saying? They're making all these wild accusations, and that's all they are, is what they're saying.
You can record us, Don. He's right there in the window. See him?
Public property right
Let's
now.
go, Don. Come on. Come on. We're gonna follow you. We're gonna wait here all day.
We know where you're at.
Oh, you can bet she will, because Molly does nothing but YouTube.
Just come out. Don't threaten me, please.
That's right.
Just don't threaten me.
You need to go walk.
I'm not gonna walk.
We're being level-headed.
No. Listen. I want him out, and then we will leave, and we will not come back.
What's the purpose?
You want to talk to him?
And
He's gotta find out.
He's got
He's-
enough on his
Yeah, we
head.
know.
I've known Wells for years.
Yeah.
Oh,
He subbed with me. Wells is not a
Why
bad
are you?
person.
Are you kidding me? You
No.
realize that the baby brown of that watering hole they did.
I don't know. You don't know that.
You got proof.
None
Yes,
of us
we do.
can.
Oh my God, they're standing there, her and this Betty are standing there saying they have proof that this baby drowned. What proof do they have? The police don't have it, so what proof do they have? They don't have no proof. They don't have proof of nothing.
I hope you're not a mother. I hope you're not a mother.
Yes.
I hope you're not a mother.
I'm a
No, there's no way. A real mother doesn't
father.
talk like
I'm
that.
a father.
Yeah.
Oh yeah? Well, what are you then, Molly? Because your behavior is worse than hers, 1,000 times worse than hers. Are you not a real mother?
A real mother doesn't talk like that.
I'm a father.
A real mother doesn't talk like that.
Real mother.
No. What do your kids do for a living now? Ow.
I've got 2 dogs.
What do they do? They don't do you.
I love it. Did you hear her tell you? What do? They don't do you. Because nobody wants to do you. And it's really none of your business what their kids do. You're harassing these people. They're just trying to make an honest living work. You need to move on.
I'm going to be here all day.
Oh, you can bet you will be. But the next clip is, and this what makes me so mad is Justin co-signs all her behavior. At one time in the very beginning, I had a little bit of hope with Justin, but that's out the door. In this next clip, you're going to see how Justin disrespects Killy Rodin and her family. And what he's done is just, in my opinion, sick. But that's just my opinion.
Don, you have a chance to come out. You've been telling us to meet you places. He tells us, meet us here.
Meet us here.
Come to my house. Let's do
Personal YouTube for a long time. But I will show you pictures of the live. And we talked to Jagger just a little.
Yeah, these are the pictures that he took off Adventures for Purposes website and decided to try to enhance the images so he could show an outline of that poor girl. And then the narrative he's trying to spin in this story, well, you'll see how obsessed he is with the items in the front, in the back of the car, on the dashboard that he's looking at, and you'll see what he's leading to, but it takes him forever. But yeah, he's trying to say there was foul play and all this other stuff, but yeah, let's keep going.
Ago, and he said something that was very interesting to us. We gave him a link to our live, and if he wants to come up and talk, he's welcome to. But it has been just absolutely crazy. So this,
Yeah, it's been absolutely crazy with the stuff that you're putting out there about this poor young girl. Tragedy pimping at its best.
this is my. I want to show you guys something. And I don't want to, and I'm trying, listen, I'm not putting down the police. I'm not doing Kylie's car. As you can see here, you can tell that it's definitely on its top.
Sorry guys, he's showing these pictures that he showed in his live that night. So, and like I said, in this picture, he really goes after what's all right in here, and he's doing it to lead up to a point. Only the dramatic effect he wanted, I think, fell really flat.
To me, this, in my opinion, this looks like maybe like a sun visor or something. But this right here it definitely looks like an iPad or an iPhone, like an Apple, some type of charger. This shows more. It looks like some type of pin. And this said, to me, it looks like it says "Truly." I don't. I think that's a drink. If anyone knows, please let me know. But this looks like some type of pin or something.
Just really
curling iron, maybe. And this says "Truly," and then it looks like a visor here, and then an Apple, clearly an Apple charger, in my opinion, and then I don't know what this is through here. Truly is an alcohol drink. Okay.
And there was his dramatic point. He worked all that up to say that there was an alcoholic drink in the car. Like, we all knew she was at a party. But to even just drag that out to get to that point is just ridiculous.
So, shows you there was alcohol involved.
And of course, your dramatic point that fell really flat.
Thank you, Haley, for becoming a member. I do appreciate it. K-Bear's mama,
sorry,
thank
my
you. I do
editing's
appreciate
not very
it.
good yet. I edit this stuff out. I'm getting there. This old goat's learning.
Now I need to pull up something else.
Thank goodness for iMovie.
Credit goes to Adventures with Purpose for these.
Yeah, credit goes to them. They're amazing. But they are not happy with you pulling these pictures off their website and altering them to fit your needs, to fit your narrative. I'm pretty sure they're not.
So, mods, please.
Shut up.
No, I don't know what
this next picture
this
is the one
but
that
to me
really
it looks like
upset a lot of people, and he got so much backlash over, and he should have, because what he tried to do with this picture is just disgusting and so disrespectful to her and her family. But you know, he's a tragedy pimp. Him and Molly and Ellebee, they've all done this. They've all spun this misinformation. And now he's going to tell you what he thinks about there being foul play and all this other stuff. But we all know other info's come out since. But let's keep going.
In the back. And guys, trigger warning to those who see this. This is
A little late to put the trigger warning out there. You've had the picture up for a couple minutes. But I purposely didn't make this any bigger or anything because I just didn't want to take any chances. But, yeah.
very hard to see. Cake Spew, I agree. Alcohol can be like that for sure. So we do know, yes. So Kylie was located in the very back. And when I say the very back, I don't mean the back seats. She was in like the back hatch, the back trunk area.
Okay, Justin, allude to your point because we already know.
As we know, the window was broken on one side, halfway down on the other side. In my opinion, that was intentional, in my opinion.
She was driving her car, and sure, she did have the window down. It was a nice evening. And as far as a broken window, that could have been her trying to get out. That could have been from the water pressure. What are you alluding to?
We don't know what the person's state of mind was during this.
It's not a person. Her name is Kylie. Kylie. There was no one else in the car.
Happened, but to me,
I didn't mean she wasn't a person. I don't mean to be disrespectful in any way. She was a human being. Her name is Kylie, not just some person.
It is intentional that someone wanted this car to sink fast, in my opinion.
Wow. Wow. So what you're alluding to is someone else drove the car into that lake, broke the window to save themselves, and she couldn't get out? Yeah, you are so far off the mark here. We do know that there is video of her driving her car. There was no foul play in this case. So are you going to do a video saying you was wrong? Apologizing for disrespecting the family? I want to see it.
Yeah.
Okay, now, like I said, tragedy pimping at its best. Next, we're going to go into a story that they themselves created and made up in their heads because this really was no story. It's about Vaughn and Joy McRae and how they spun this narrative that she did this and there's justice for Vaughn. But there was no justice for Vaughn because there was no crime. Dre did nothing. Unfortunately, this young man tried to unalive himself. This woman has to deal with her husband, her children's father, laying there in a vegetative state. And these people just took this and turned and twisted it and ran with this narrative that she did this to him. It's all her fault. And they keeping him from his parents. But that wasn't the case. It wasn't his biological parents. It was his biological parents. He was adopted as a small child by his great-grandparents. That's who raised him. That's who his mom and dad are. And I do believe that his great-grandfather did pass away. Sorry. But this is so spun. That they created this whole nightmare. And they keep to this day putting out misinformation. Because Molly herself has said it. She's down on views. So she's stirring the pot by putting more information. And even has alluded to the fact that Vaughn is now released into Dre's care and is at home. Are you kidding me? I can't even believe the stuff that they're putting out and co-signing. And the family, the biological family, Miss Letitia, his biological mother, and Mr. Jackson, his biological father, have co-signed all this. All of it. And Miss Letitia's done a lot. She's been in people's comments, flipping people off. She's asserted herself in other places in social media. And she started all this with her first post being a misinformation. But let's get into it.
See the son while he's literally in the hospital brain dead. You're right. Is that correct?
Yeah, and we can even show it. There's an amazing Facebook group that pretty much.
And this is when Miss Letitia was involved with the Facebook groups, mind you, that were created because a couple girls didn't like Dre. Not because there was any story here or any facts. Because once Miss Letitia made that first post and her relative did the GoFundMe, and there was a relative on Reddit, they all hooked up together and they just ran with this horrible story. And none of it's true. None of it.
Grew over days, tens of thousands, and they're watching right now.
You're you're welcome to share from your end if you want. Just hit the share button, and I'll accept it. You can share it.
The group on Facebook is called Exposing Dre McCray.
It was a hate group, Molly. A hate group. There was a couple girls that got together because they didn't like Dre. Dre was very popular. She had a huge social media following. She had a business. She was an outstanding makeup artist. She sold jewelry. She was a great cook. But she had a huge following on social media. And anybody who does has some haters. And that's what they were. They used to work with Dre, for Dre, with this jewelry business. Some didn't make it. And this is what it was. Everybody, it's crazy. It's just crazy what happened.
Now, Dre, ever since I went public with this at 6:30 in the morning, she's kind of been deleting and hiding a lot of stuff.
No, Molly, that's you. Dre had nothing to hide or delete. She has nothing to hide. She did nothing wrong. You spun this narrative. You and Justin and LB and Goose and Letitia and Mr. Jackson spun this narrative that it was all her. She did nothing.
Really?
Oh yes. She's on major damage control. They're even wondering if she's going to go live tonight.
What time does she normally go live? And does she go live every day normally?
Yes.
Okay.
Now this morning, at around noon or 1 p.m., I was given the police report, and it's a shocker. The shocker
this is
said
so much crap.
that what
his reaction, because we all know they had the police report and they knew what was going on.
When she was given CPR.
Mr. Jackson had already been
He
there
hung himself
by the
with
time
a
they
rope.
got, so they knew.
Now who says this?
This is so undramatic because they didn't even play it off good. Mr. Jackson had already been there to see Bond. He's the one that got the police report. You guys knew this stuff, and you knew before you did this live. Again, your misinformation and your dramatics for views.
The police in Yuma, Arizona. I have it. And the mother is going back and forth with an admin in that group, and she's like, "Wait a second. Whoa, and this is a complete game."
Hey, you know what? No, Miss Letitia got information from Mr. Jackson, the biological father, who was there with his wife Wynette to see Marvon. She wasn't going at it with the Facebook admin over this. She knew. Come on, you're spinning this narrative.
Changer. Because everyone was thinking, "Oh my God, Vaughn, it's this seizures. He's having seizures. It could be from the diet. Oh my God."
Oh my God, yeah, the diet. Here you go again, the diet. It wasn't from the diet. And you never said it was from seizures. From the get-go, you attacked and blamed Dre. And put out this story you made this story up. You guys created this whole thing because there was no story.
Now, in her journey of showing her life, her fans and her admirers fell in love with him as well. He's a total gentleman. She's 34. He's 29.
So,
And he's laying in a hospital. Yes, CPS is involved and not doing anything. To be
how would you know what they're doing? Number one, you wouldn't know because you don't have rights to that information. And there was no reason for CPS. Again, there you guys go again, getting people to call. You had people make hundreds of calls to CPS, to the police, to the hospital. What you've done to this woman, what she's going through one of the worst times of her life, is just beyond.
medical POA, I'll tell you one thing.
Since we started covering this, she's been quiet.
Oh yeah, from what I've heard, she's freaking out. Now,
She's not freaking out. She don't want bother with you people. She's got enough on her plate. After what's being done to her, I hope she went and got herself a good attorney. Because you guys all need sued and she definitely has grounds. But she's not hiding from you. She's letting you hang yourself, so to say. Bad terms of word, I know, with the story. Sorry about that, but that's basically what they're doing.
I even called her cell phone, okay?
I was going to say, have you invited her?
I called her up and I left her a message.
Okay.
And who do you think you are that she's going to answer you or even want to come up and talk to you?
Listen, I'm not part of the exposing part. For
Right.
me right now, it's more about like a public service announcement.
What public service announcement? It's a public service that you attacked and destroyed this woman? That you've done nothing but spew misinformation for months, outright lies? Give me a break. Give me a damn break.
I mean, this is so bad, and I had to tell everyone in that group, I think you guys better brace yourself because I don't even know how to handle this.
You showed us how you handled it. You spun this story so bad. You put out so much misinformation. You got people incited to go harass and hate and attack other people. That's what you did. Yeah, you blew it up. You blew it up, all right. You blew up hate, which you're happy with because, like you said, if you put out real content, your views are down. If you put out this dramatic misinformation crap you do, your views are up. And Justin sits there with that smirk, just co-signing every little thing you're saying.
I don't even know how to handle this. So I don't know if
We see how you handled it. Yeah, turned it into a nightmare, a circus.
we need a lawyer on panel. I don't know if we need legal advice on panel.
What do you need legal advice for? You're not telling people the truth. They were his biological parents. They did not raise him. He was adopted. They have no paternal rights. There was really no reason for an attorney.
No.
Well, the first thing is you can't be, these people who are saying, she can cure this and this and this. You can't say that legally. You know what I mean? Not you as in
Looked at extreme.
Okay, now here she's really going to go. Now this is the same live, mind you. Her saying, I don't know how to handle it, and it's a public service announcement and all this stuff. Listen to what she does to Dre next.
Hard. And you want to know something? You're shaking. You are shaking because I just rocked your world. And guess what? It's going to get a little shakier. You want to bring this trash?
She's not the one bringing the trash.
You want to talk about how we're haters? You know what, sweetheart? You are loved.
You are. You incited hate and harassment against her for something she didn't even do.
Like you. You are insecure. You have nothing going for you, and I cannot wait.
That sounds a little bit like self-reflection to me. You don't even know Dre. You have no idea. She was actually pretty smart. She was an awesome makeup artist. She was running a good business, making good money, very popular on social media, very well liked Molly. Not like you, huh?
To go down there and shake the hands of the Tucson police or the Yuma police that puts cuffs on your fucking wrists. Because that's what...
For what reason? There was no crime committed. Dre did nothing. Nothing.
you fucking deserve. You are killing that man. And you're reveling. You love it. You love the attention you are getting. This man is dead. You've hurt him. You've killed him.
And you hurt his parents.
Are you kidding me? Okay, you've been blaming Katie Joy for all this. Listen to yourselves. Justin, you're sitting there co-signing this and saying, oh, and his parents. Dre did nothing wrong. Marwan is not dead. He's in a vegetative state. He's in a coma. She didn't kill him. She's not killing him. He did this to himself. It was his own choice.
Your frigging children. You want to know something?
How is she killing her children? You don't know this woman to be saying this stuff.
I'll take care of your babies. I'll take care of your babies.
The last thing those babies need is you.
Start fucking manning up. Because what you are doing is downright evil. And this is not hate. This is about justice.
Downright evil. She's done nothing. What you and Justin and LB and Goose and Letitia have done is downright evil. You have attacked and destroyed this woman. And you have fed so many outright lies in this case, it's pathetic.
Do not act this way. As a mother, as a wife, or as a human.
Wow. Take a good look in the mirror, Molly. Because you're the one carrying on. You're the one doing this. So that's not how you act as a mother and a wife. You need to look in the mirror.
This is about human.
Something you know nothing about.
And you're gonna sit there with this cretin, this shill of a whatever the hell she thinks she is, saying, oh, I'm a bunch of racist.
If the shoe fits, you've made some really derogatory comments and statements, so if the shoe fits. And Justin, shame on you for sitting there co-signing all this. But now we're going to move into LB's live with Justin on panel. And oh my, the misinformation LB spews is just beyond. She's drinking the go juice because it is just beyond.
Behind her in a bed with tubes everywhere. She stands up and she tells her followers, take a screenshot of me in this new dress. Not once have we seen Dre cry over Vaughn. Not once have we seen her look sad over Vaughn.
How do you know to say that? How do you know what goes on behind closed doors? What, because she's not on here having a breakdown? You don't think it's bothering her? How dare you? Do you have any idea what this poor woman is going through? Her husband, her children's father, is laying there in a coma because he tried to unalive himself. All she does is all positive. Well, Vaughn's better today. He's better. She wants him to wake up. She loves her husband. And shame on you for saying this. Shame on you.
He's literally going live while laying beside Vaughn as he's in a coma. Now, Vaughn's father is able to find out what hospital Vaughn is at. So he travels 3,000 miles across the country to see his son.
Why are you making that so dramatic? Any parent would travel anywhere to see him, to see their child. And that was Vaughn's biological father. They had no real relationship. He wasn't in Vaughn's life. He didn't know Dre. He didn't know their children. He wasn't a part of their lives. And yeah, at this point, I don't blame her for recording everything for her own safety after what's been done to this woman.
When he shows up at the hospital to see Vaughn, Dre is on a live stream. We see her walk into the hallway and find out that Vaughn's dad is there. She tells the nurse that Vaughn's dad...
Yeah, but you can see the confusion on her face because number one, she didn't even know they was coming because nobody bothered to reach out, and number two, she thought it was his biological father, Mr. Jackson, and his biological mother, Letitia, but it wasn't. It was Mr. Jackson, his biological father, and his wife, Wynette, the supposed stepmom that he didn't know and didn't know him.
The stepmom is not allowed to see Vaughn, and that they need to call security and have them removed. Vaughn's dad can be heard pleading. I've traveled 3,000 miles to see my son. Please just let me see him. Dre says no. Now they tell her. They said, while you may be over any...
He wasn't pleading. He said, I just drove here and I want to see my son. He wasn't pleading. Quit dramatizing everything for clicks and views.
...decisions concerning him. You're not over visitation. And the way that we run things in our hospital, we allow visitors.
That's not exactly what happened. It's Arizona law, not just that hospital. But yeah, they did go in to see Vaughn.
They can visit him. Now, Dre, she said, but also you guys have a policy that is one visitor, right? So I'm going to go back in, and when I'm done visiting with him, they can come in. Well, Dre went right back in that room with Vaughn and started calling around to have Vaughn moved. And she did. She had Vaughn moved.
That is so much misinformation. Was you in that room with Dre? You know exactly what she did? And yes, Vaughn had to be moved. But as we go in the video, we'll see why.
In a matter of a couple of weeks, Vaughn had been moved to 4, possibly 5 different hospitals. One reason was the parents found out the location.
That is so wrong. Wow, Elle, I can't believe the stuff you're saying. Vaughn was life-flighted to a trauma center. Once he was examined and treated and they knew the extent of his injuries, he was then transferred to a specialty care facility at the VA. Then the VA transferred him to a long-term care facility because he needed long-term care. He's in a coma. She didn't just pick up the phone and have him transferred. It doesn't work like that.
Other reasons was that she didn't agree with what they were doing medically for Vaughn. There was an instance where she brought food in and she wanted to feed it to Vaughn through his feeding tube. Vegan food. Food that would go with their diet. She made it. And she wanted to come in and feed it to him through his feeding tube. Doctors wouldn't allow it.
Vaughn willingly followed this diet. Go watch the proof in the videos. And yes, she did have him put on a vegan feeding through the feeding for his, his feeding. It is vegan, and it's very expensive. But that's the diet that Vaughn chose to follow, and she was trying to honor Vaughn's wishes. You really need to do some research because you don't fact check nothing. You just put out a bunch of misinformation.
So she had him moved. Now, after all these moves, the parents don't know where he is.
That's not true. Miss Letitia herself went on Molly's live and called for views and clicks. Because why would she wait to go live with Molly to make that phone call? Because the donations were slowing down and they wanted more attention, more sympathy. And it got Molly views, which I'm sure they prearranged it, but they know where he is.
They don't have anywhere to turn. They don't know what to do. But Molly Golightly, on one live stream, she actually contacted a lawyer's office, told a lawyer what was going on. They told her, this is what the lady needs. She needs a probate lawyer. You guys got to find her this type of lawyer. While on the live stream, another one of Molly Golightly's subscribers actually got in touch with that specific type of lawyer and set Vaughn's mom up with an appointment to see that lawyer. A GoFundMe account was set up to help her pay for a lawyer if need be. Thankfully, Vaughn's mom was able to get an attorney that is now working.
Okay, first off, yeah, a lot of people were supposedly calling attorneys, but no attorney's going to give Miss Letitia legal advice through Molly. And there was no reason for no attorney because Miss Letitia had no parental rights. Vaughn was adopted as a small child. And all this crap about not being able to see him and stuff and having legal orders by Dre that she couldn't go and all this other stuff is some more crap that's been spun in this story. Because Mr. Jackson was there. Do your research. Go to Nonsense's channel. Watch some of her videos. This is ridiculous, the outright lying that's being done right here. There was never no court orders, never nothing stopping Miss Letitia from going to see Vaughn. All Dre did was reach out and say that he had C. diff and the virus numbers were up high. And they wanted to get the C. diff, which is very contagious, under control. That's it. No one said they were barred from seeing him. This is where you guys keep spinning the misinformation in this story that y'all created.
Her to not only figure out where Bonnie is, but hopefully make it to where she can visit with her son. Vaughn, unfortunately, is still in a coma.
If she was so concerned about visiting with her son, when she did go down to visit with him, she'd have spent more than 3 hours there. She would have stopped all this drama and all this attacking and destroying Dre. Instead, she's co-signed every bit of it. And it's not about justice for Vaughn. There is no justice. There was no crime committed here. It was all about the donations. It turned into nothing but money grab. That's just my opinion. But it became all about the donations. And you're saying that Molly set up this GoFundMe when they went on to Molly's? That's bullcrap too. Miss Letitia's relative in the very beginning supposedly set up the GoFundMe. Miss Letitia started the misinformation with her very first post asking for help. She failed to tell everybody that she was his biological mother and that he was adopted and that she was not being barred in any way from seeing Vaughn at this time. And how she really just wanted Vaughn and wanted to be with him, she would have stopped all this. Instead, she's continued it.
He is still on life support. And the last we heard, at least 7 different doctors have reviewed his CAT scans and his medical information. And they say there's no brain activity. Now, I believe in miracles, but the doctors have stated that if he makes it out of this, he will be in a vegetative state. There's a lot of rumors going around about this case, you guys. I'm only going to try to share with you guys what we know, things that we can verify, or things that has been said by...
Wow. You haven't verified anything you've stated. None of it. And now you guys are spinning this story that he was released into Dre's custody and she took him home. Pathetic. But everything you said is not true. It's misinformation.
Family members, things such as that, to make sure we aren't putting out any misinformation out there. There are so many moving parts to this.
And that's what you've done. Nothing but misinformation, because everything you put out is misinformation. People that donated asked questions, were attacked for asking questions in the story. Yes, people did request refunds because they feel they were lied and misled. And when people did, Letitia gave Molly the information to dox people, to attack people for it. There's been no transparency. There's been no lawyer proof shown. In fact, otherwise, there were some messages with the Facebook admin and Miss Letitia where she never followed through with the retainer for the attorney. So there was no retainer, and there's been no transparency. The money was raised specifically for attorney's fees and for travel. But she only went down there one time for 3 hours. She claims, oh, I was down there twice. I flew the whole way down there, and they wouldn't let me see him. That's bull, because Mr. Jackson himself told her that she could see him. And also, during when the fundraising all started, people offered plane tickets for Miss Letitia. And she said, no, I have to drive because I can't fly. So which is it? Yeah, misinformation at its best. And they have attacked and destroyed people with this story that you guys have spun that doesn't even exist. You made this story up. Dre did nothing wrong. Nothing. And she didn't deserve this. The family should have worked with Dre. They should have worked together and supported each other. But no, instead they chose to do this because it became all about the money, in my opinion.
Story. I want to make sure I only put out what we actually know. But as of right now, this is where it stands.
Well, you haven't done that, Al. In fact, you put out nothing but misinformation yet again. I keep saying it. I know I sound like a broken record.
He's in the hospital, in a coma on life support. His parents are working to hopefully get to see him. The doctors did in fact shut down all visitation right now, so Dre cannot see Vaughn either.
None of this is true. He's not on life support. He does have a trach. He is in a vegetative state. Dre was not barred from the hospital. It was all the phone calls that Molly incited in her chats during her lives to have people call and call CPS and call the police and call the hospital. It was ridiculous what they've done. And you're not putting out information, you're putting out misinformation.
She cannot go to the hospital and jump on a live stream and show this poor man.
Oh, yes,
with
she
tubes
can.
running down his
That's her
throat.
husband. Yes, she can. She's not barred from the hospital. But, you know, we're not going to get updates because of how she's been attacked and destroyed. You know, she made her money on her social media. She's got children to support, Al. You know what that's like. If this was you, would you want someone doing this to you if this was your husband? Do you think this is what Vaughn would want? This is disgusting. This whole bed of lies is disgusting.
So that's where we're at right now, you guys. I'm going to continue to follow this story. I just wanted to make sure that I put out a video that kind of gave you guys all the details, the high points of the details. And so from now on, if you guys want to follow this story,
the high points of the details, all you put out was a bunch of misinformation. There wasn't fact in anything you're saying. Nothing. And you should have done your homework because you clearly didn't, as you know, you don't fact check. But anyway, sorry I got so upset. And there's so much more to go into. I can't even put all this in one video. So I may do another video to finish this off. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks again. See you later.